Hello, hello, hello. I'm back again. Your main man, the real Bill Real. I have been paying attention to these protests that are springing up in these cities across the United States. And just as you are aware of the fact that these people are are being paid to do this um, by the DNC, uh, something came to mind. I was lying down and a thought ran across my head. And that thought is this: all of this is over what I call the substitute teacher theory. Yes. When you were in school, the substitute teacher would basically allow the class to do whatever they wanted to do. The substitute teacher would allow people to tell them, hey, their friend is there when they're not. Somebody from another class could actually come into the class, and the substitute teacher would just say, oh, okay, I guess they're supposed to be in here. They wouldn't send the child back to wherever they belong. That child could be skipping a class. They would not press those students to learn their lesson that day. Most of the time, the substitute teacher did not have a teaching degree. Most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, but most of the time, that substitute teacher never had any children. Okay, most of the time, that substitute teacher really didn't have the substance to be a real teacher. They were just a stand-in. They were just the one, uh, just posing as the teacher. Okay, which is the reason why, if you were to have a substitute teacher and a capacity of, say, like, an entire school year, chances are mostly everybody in the class would probably pass. But would they have actually learned anything during that time that the substitute teacher was over the class? Probably not. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this. I alluded to this in my last video. And I think the difference that I'm referring to is the difference between Barack Obama and Donald Trump. See, Barack Obama, although he has been in the position and still is in the position of the president of the United States, did not have any experience with getting things done. Okay? On the other hand, Donald Trump has much experience with getting things done, negotiating, watching out for bad deals, making people do what they're supposed to do. I'm not saying that he was a perfect businessman. Okay, um, it's hard to be the perfect businessman in a capitalistic society because there are some things about capitalism that causes people to be a bit cutthroat. But the point that I'm bringing up is that you have two men who are different. As I alluded to yesterday when I said that this can be likened to the stepdaddy who's been uh, raising the children or attempting to act like the dad, and then when the father shows up. But I think a better analogy of it is the substitute teacher. I think Barack Obama has been that substitute teacher who has allowed the door to be opened, or who has allowed basically any student that's skipping illegal immigration to come in the class, sit in the back, talk, play cards, whatnot with everybody, just as long as they, keep it down. They don't really talk too loud. Now, mind you, while the students are slipping in the class and whatnot, they're bringing the morale down of the class because everybody is, turning around and looking at it like, whoa, we know that Juan and Julio are not in our class normally. And when they come in the class, they cause everybody else to kind of think, well, shucks, this substitute teacher is so stupid that that he is or she is allowing them to come in, and they're playing games and whatnot, and they're attempting to give people tattoos in the back, and they're doing all kinds of crap. All right, they're doing everything short of freaking smoking marijuana in the class, and and they're probably doing that, or they're probably selling weed in the class and just not smoking it. But the point I'm bringing up is that they're allowed to do all types of things while the substitute teacher is posing as a teacher. Just that's just one example, okay? In relation to the dilapidated neighborhoods, in the ghettos. Let's just say it like that. There has not really been anything done to knock them down, do some reconstruction there or whatnot. Okay, so just referencing the New Deal that Donald Trump proposed. I actually proposed it about, I think, like 2.5 weeks ago. Um, you have to ask yourself, well, what was the substitute teacher doing about that? Why did the substitute teacher think that it was no problem that we had all of these problems in these neighborhoods? Why was the substitute teacher not concerned with putting people to work? You get what I'm saying? Why was he not giving out um, chores for people to do? Why was he allowing the class to be dirty? Okay, why didn't he assign somebody to clean the sink every day? Since he was going to be the teacher for the rest of the year, why didn't he? I'm not. We're just play along with this. Okay, I know the janitors come in and they clean the sinks and they clean different things in the room and they sweep up the room. The point I'm making is that these are the kinds of things that don't get done when you have the substitute. But when the real teacher returns, the real teacher says, hey, you know what? This is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to turn in your work. That person's not supposed to be in the class. Okay? All right? We're going to stop people from cheating. The substitute teacher allows people to come in and take tests with a calculator. He allows them to come in and have their books open while they're taking the test. While the regular teacher would never allow you to do that. Okay? The same thing can be said about allowing people to ship out jobs from the United States over to other countries and then ship them back, and they get to ship them back tax free. Okay? All right. Another thing is the issuing of credit, which is something that has been missing from the black neighborhoods and from the black experience for quite some time now. The other question you have to ask yourself is, if your substitute teacher has not made sure that that has happened for you in 8 years, why? Is that the substitute teacher is not aware of the fact that you need credit, or that you need these, that's important to you? Of course the substitute teacher knows that it's important. So the thing that I'm saying is that when the real teacher shows up, the real teacher actually shows up the substitute. And I don't know if you guys remember the Stand By Me movie with Mr. Clark, where Mr. Clark, who was played by Morgan Freeman, when they decided to come in and arrest him because he had put the chains on the building, the students protested outside of the school and they say, "Free Mr. Clark, free Mr. Clark." Well, what's happening right now is exactly that, where nationwide, all of these liberals and feminists and Black Lives Matter and just a bunch of knuckleheads, they're saying, we want Barack in office. Okay? We see that the employment rate is sky high. Obamacare is a mess. Okay? We see that our borders are overran. We have all these people over here choking out any opportunities for us to have any other jobs. Okay? But we need to have Barack Obama still in office because we want that substitute teacher. That substitute teacher allows us to get away with all kinds of crap. That substitute teacher has legislated something that even right in the Bible tells you it's an abomination. Okay? He's the first president that makes a marriage to two men and two women a legally sanctioned thing, which I don't know. I don't know how you even do that. But the point I'm making is that this society has been spoiled by the political correctness, all of this marching and protesting. Have you noticed that protesting has gone like up 100% ever since Barack Obama has been in office? That's no coincidence, okay? Because that was his specialty before he became president, okay? Again, this is what the substitute teacher allows. The substitute teacher allows much propaganda on the news. Okay, swaying the opinion of people, getting people to see things in a certain light. When the reality is the substitute teacher is really bad for you. The substitute teacher is very liberal and lax on their rules. And anyone with common sense knows that a person who is very liberal and lax with their children, a coach, a teacher, they're going to produce subpar people, subpar students, subpar players, subpar citizens. So when the real teacher shows up and the real teacher is critical and says, "Hey, Sally, you don't know your 8 times tables?" The teacher or the parent of Sally is saying, "Hey, why are you criticizing her that she doesn't know her 8 times tables?" Well, yeah, she was supposed to know her 8 times tables, but the substitute allowed her to do it on her calculator. So as a result, now she's struggling with the next level of math that she has to take. Is it the teacher's fault because the teacher is openly saying to her, "Hey, you're supposed to be able to do some other kinds of math"? It's not the teacher's fault. It's really the substitute's fault. But the substitute can now create a situation where he or she blames the teacher and says, "Hey, the teacher is really harsh. The teacher is a jerk." No, the teacher's not being a jerk. See, and that's what's going on in our society. Everybody is sticking up for the substitute teacher. And the person that they wanted to fill in the role of the substitute teacher was Hillary Clinton, because they knew that Hillary Clinton stood for nothing. Hillary Clinton had no plans on making anything better for anyone. Just continue to let everybody come in and do what they want to do in the class, act up, just kind of keep it down or whatnot. Everything is everything. All right. So they wanted this teacher or this substitute teacher who was willing to help everybody cheat. Okay. And then when the school board found out that this person was attempting to cheat, we're referring to the emails, she just went ahead and just threw away her folder. Okay. She threw away her folder that had all of the cheats in it, had all of the test questions on it and whatnot. See, and this is what our society wanted. Our society wanted the teacher that they can get away with all kind of crap with, but wasn't going to actually do anything to help you. Just wanted to keep giving you, just keep passing you. You know, our society just wants to be passed. Okay, forget the fact that you don't know the curriculum. Just pass me. Send me to the next grade. I'm supposed to go to the next grade. Send me to the next grade. Don't test me on anything. Don't hold me accountable for anything. Hey, be a good teacher. I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather have a very critical teacher who has done it at the highest level than to have a nice derelict, okay, or non-performer, okay, to pat me on the back and tell me that everything is okay. And that's what's going on right now in our society, where you have a bunch of people who cannot stand to hear anybody tell them the truth. They want yes men. They want someone that's going to tell them, hey, it's no problem that you're a single mother of three and you're not married. They want someone to tell them, hey, it's no problem that you are in this country and you don't have any documentation to state that you have a legal right to be here. They want everybody to say, hey, you know, it's no problem that you're from Syria or that you may be with a terrorist organization. It's no problem. See, the substitute teacher has no problem with that. The substitute teacher allows everything to go down, you know, doesn't write a referral, turns their eyes, look the other way. Two students might be kissing in the back, might be about to start dry hunching. The substitute teacher is too busy on their phone looking at Facebook, on Tinder. Okay, I just want to paint this picture for you so that you'll understand who is protesting nationwide. You have this country that's divided into two types of people. One of the kinds of people that I'm referring to are the people who voted for Barack Obama the first and the second time. Okay, that's one thing that most people don't realize, is that Donald Trump would have never been elected had he not had those people who realize, hey, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Talking about Barack Obama, he doesn't really know what he's doing. Okay, what has he really accomplished? What is he really doing for our country? How is he making it better? How is the DNC making it better? And two, you have a group of people who are very naive, okay, and they're misled, and they are bleeding heart liberals, okay. They stand for nothing. They have no moral character at all. They believe anything goes. They believe that a 50-year-old freaking transvestite has every right to be in the bathroom with a 6-year-old. Okay? They think that there's nothing wrong with that. They think there's nothing wrong with Steve and Jim getting married and kissing in public. They think there's nothing wrong with that. They think there's nothing wrong with, you know, a person, you know, coming to work and, you know, having 50 tattoos in their face, pierced up. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no standards among these people. And the thing they want to say is that no KKK, no hate and all this and stuff. See, in reality, truth sounds like hate to those who hate the truth. See, when you come to someone and you tell them, hey, you're a woman and you're not over a man, and a man is the head of a household, to a feminist, that sounds like you're hating women. No, you're not hating women. You're telling the woman what the Bible says. The Bible says that the man was supposed to rule over the woman. But in today's society, because they've been listening to the substitute teacher, okay, who wants to make everybody happy, He says no. The woman has equal rights as the man in the household. And in fact, if we really want to get down to the brass tacks, she has more rights over everything. And she can kick you out and she can demand payment from you and you have no say so. So, which is another reason why I'm so glad that Donald Trump is the president, because I believe that he's going to do something to straighten that whole mess out. Okay. But anyway, I digress. So this is the reason why they're saying that these things are hateful. Okay, somebody says that, oh, he's racist. The only two things that they can say about Donald Trump that I could even think remotely or that would resemble racism is when they say that Donald Trump said that black people are lazy and they like to have sex. Well, that's not true, but there's a large majority of black people who are who commit lots of fornication. Okay, the illegitimacy rate in the black community is 73%. That's an outrage. That is horrible. That is absolutely embarrassing. Okay, that you have that many loose girls, all right, that are getting pregnant and are not even freaking married. That's an embarrassment. All right. So if a man says that and it is true, that does not make that man a racist. That makes that man a truth teller, and he's telling you about your ass. And if you don't like that, that doesn't make him racist. That's what a man is supposed to do. But in this society, these feminists, they hate men because men tell the truth. Now, substitute teachers, they don't tell you the truth. They are the Steve Harveys of the world, okay? Who wants to tell you nothing is your fault. All right? Or the other thing that someone could say is that when he said, well, black people, what do you have to lose? Look at your neighborhoods, look at your schools, look at the unemployment rate. Take a look at, illegal immigration, which hurts you, which over the time, over, I think, believe since 1970, illegal immigration has taken 12% of the wealth of the African Americans. 12% of the wealth because you've allowed the borders open. So when a man says, hey, what do you have to lose? The substitute teacher is ruining you. The substitute teacher is allowing you to go down further and further every year. He hasn't seen where that's a problem. Huh? He sees that global warming is the biggest issue. Really? Come on. Take a look at the hood. Global warming is not an issue. It is not the problem. Okay? But again, that is what the substitute teacher says is the problem. The substitute teacher will tell you that, the AC unit hasn't been working for a while, and I believe that the AC not working is probably a result of why the children have bad grades. No, it's your lack of standards. Okay, that is the problem. The fact that they know that they can run over you and that you don't stand for anything. Remember, a person who stands for nothing, they can, basically be pushed over by anything. Anybody can come to them and tell them, hey, I want to have this pass. Oh, okay, sure. They don't stand for anything. Stand for nothing, fall for anything. Okay? Remember, that's what the substitute teacher will do. They'll fall for any excuse of why the child needs to leave class for the whole entire period. Okay? Child can come back, doesn't even have a pass, doesn't even need to have an explanation halfway. He sees them the next day, he questions them about it. Hey, where were you? Hey, I got caught up with this other teacher. You know what? Where's your pass? Oh, she didn't give it to me. All right, next time now, make sure you give me a pass. See? This is what they're protesting for. They want this lax government. They want this corrupt government. And yes, I will say it. If you had a substitute teacher that would allow you to cheat on the test, that would allow anybody to come inside, that would allow you to cheat on tests, that would destroy the evidence of allowing you to cheat on the test, that's a corrupt substitute teacher. So that is what people are protesting for. They want that corrupt substitute teacher back. They want that corrupt substitute teachers friend to come and teach them, because that corrupt substitute teacher's friend allows for anything to go, regardless of whether or not it's good for them. They want that. So people are always going to choose that substitute teacher. Always. Okay? So I just want to drop this video to let you guys understand what's going on in our country. It's fortunate that the people are doing these things. You would think that Barack Obama would come out and say something, or Hillary Clinton would come out and say something, or actually that Donald Trump would come out and say something. But as we all already know, these people are being paid to stir up all this trouble. And I would not be surprised if old Barack Obama uses all of these protests to enact the martial law, which has already been predicted that would happen. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But that's my video. I'll be talking with you later. Peace.